Hello all, very good morning. This is Karthik from Raj Cloud Technologies. First of all, I welcome you all to today's Azure Data Engineering Batch-4 session-1, and I welcome you all to the morning batch. From today, we are continuing with the morning batch, like morning 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. IST. So please be regular to the sessions. And before starting the session, I just want to show you our YouTube channel. So we have official YouTube channel and Instagram page as well. We have our official YouTube channel and Instagram page as well. So this is our YouTube channel. If you just get into YouTube and search for Raj Informatica or Raj Cloud Technologies, you can find out. So this is our YouTube channel, Raj Informatica Real-Time Hands-on Job-Based Training. We have almost 36,100 plus subscribers, and we uploaded more than 490 plus videos here. If you just go to the video section, you can find out videos related to the many cloud technologies like Azure, Snowflake, Salesforce, AWS, GCP, and many other videos are available here. So just visit our channel once so that you'll find out many useful videos here. If you like our content, like the videos, comment on them, and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Subscribe to our channel for more videos. And we have an Instagram page as well, official Instagram page. This is Raj Informatica. Okay, if you just get into Instagram and if you can search for Raj Informatica, you can find out our page. You can find out our account. So we have more than 3,000 plus followers here. So in this Instagram, we mainly posting about the job openings. Whatever the job openings are there, whatever the referral programs are there. So everything will be posted here in the stories. So please follow our Instagram page for job assistance. I have just shared you both links in chat. So using these links, you can just follow us and you can get the complete updates from Raj Cloud Technologies here. And this is our website. We have a website as well, razinformatica.com. This is our official website. If you can see here, this is a home page. If you just scroll down, you will be able to see all our trainings. Okay, what are the trainings that we are offering? You can see about all our trainings as well. We are offering generative AI program, Informatica data quality and cloud data quality, AWS data engineering, Azure data engineering and Databricks, Snowflake in the combination of DBT and ADF, Informatica Power Center, Informatica Cloud IICS IDMC, artificial intelligence and machine learning, cyber security and ethical hacking, Microsoft Power BI and data analytics program, SAP S4 HANA and FICO, GCP professional certification training, Python full stack development, Python for AI and ChatGPT, Salesforce and AWS and DevOps. These are the please mute yourself. Yeah, these are the courses that we are offering right now. And apart from this, you can see many useful materials like interview questions and internship programs, everything you can see here. Okay. And we have done with our introduction class already. Okay. So if you can just visit our YouTube channel, you can find out here. Okay. So Azure Data Engineering and Databricks introduction class is already uploaded here. And today is the first technical session. And today is our first technical session. To know more about our training, you can just go to the courses here, click on Azure Training. Click on Azure Training. Okay. So this is the, this is the page where you can get the complete information about our trainings. Okay. Yeah, this is the page where you can see the complete information about our trainings. The batch is started on October 13th. Today is our first session. We have done with the introduction class. Today is our first session. I am just sharing this link also here in the chat so that you can get the complete information here. Okay. So this is the link where you can access the complete information about Azure Data Engineering and Databricks session. Okay. Yeah. So let me give you a 1 minute of time. Please drop your name and WhatsApp numbers so that I can share you today's session recording. Okay. So I'll share you today's session recording with you. Recording and material will be shared with you. So just drop me your name and WhatsApp number. Just drop me your name and WhatsApp number in the chat. Okay. So I have just I'm just giving you 1 minute of time. So please complete it so that we can start the session. Everyone is already added to the group.
Karthik, I'm sorry. What you gave me in 1 minute? Like all the information?
To just drop your name and WhatsApp number, like we have just enabled this timing. 1 minute, that's it.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have received your names and WhatsApp numbers. If you are from a different country, please post with the country code. Okay. So yes, I'm handling session to our trainer Abhishek Garu. From here, Abhishek Garu will continue. Abhishek Garu, over to you, please.
All right. Uh, Thank you, Karthik, for giving a brief. Let me share my screen, guys, and we will continue after that. All right. First of all, thank you so much for joining the training program of Azure Data Engineering and Databricks and Spark training, right? First of all, the people who know me and Sankha, like the people who don't know us, me and Sankha, both of us, let me give a small introduction round, right? So, hello everyone, I am Abhishek Agrawal. I have done my graduation from NIT Raipur in 2016, and after that, I have worked 8 to 9 years completely into Azure data engineering background, right? I have done 15 to 16 data migration projects and from legacy system to Azure Data Engineering System, right? And then also I have done the migration project from Hadoop cluster to the Spark cluster. Uh, and I started this training journey back in like COVID timing, right? So I started my training journey at that particular time because I got some free time from my like because I was not traveling to my office and all of that, right? And then it has been 2.5 years, 3 years since I'm providing this Azure Data Engineering training, right? I trained multiple I trained across different domains in different countries. That is what I've done, right? And together with me, SankhaDas will be the tutor who will be also like assisting us and then provide the training together. So I request Sankhadas to also give a small introduction round, and then we will go ahead with the session.
Okay, fine. So am I audible, right? Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, this is
yeah.
Shankar. Okay, so I have completed the engineering in 2021. Then I worked in multiple companies, starting from, let's say, like many big companies. I'll not take them, but yeah, like I have completed more than 5 to 6 projects in Middle East, Europe, Canada, and UK West projects. Okay. There I have started with Azure Data Bricks, Data Factory, then PySpark, Spark, Python, SQL, and all these things. Then after that, I started teaching. I have taught more than 500 students in Azure Data Engineering domain. Okay. And here, me and Abhishek both will give you a practical walkthrough, like how actually data engineering works, how it helps company to generate revenue, how actually we do things, what should be our roles and responsibilities as a data engineer. So yeah, that is from my end, Abhishek.
All right. Thank you so much for introduction, Sankha, right? So now, like the people who don't know completely about the training program, I request them that they go through the introduction session, which Karthik has highlighted, which is present in our YouTube channel. Today is our first class, so the people who directly join the first class, for them, I am just trying to give like 5 minutes of introduction. And if you want to understand it in a detailed manner, you can go through our introduction class in which you can understand what will be covered, what sort of a project will be covered and everything, right? I will give a very small round of 5 to 10 minutes in which I will just try to give you a small intro, right? So we have three modules, three kind of a training program, right? So we have Azure Data Engineering training program, right? This one, and then Databricks and Spark training program, and then a combined training program, which is a Data Engineering plus Databricks and Spark training program. Okay. So today we will start with Azure Data Engineering training program, right? And after that we will cover Azure Databricks and Spark training program. This is what we will cover after that. Okay. Today we will start with this. 2 months we will learn this, and after that we will start with 2 months of Azure Databricks and Spark training program, right? The people like, so this is how it will go. So today the people who enrolled for Azure Data Engineering will learn for 2 months, and the people who enroll for the combined course, right, will learn for 4 months. 2 months they will learn this, and then 2 months they will learn this, right? And then the people who want to directly learn the Databricks and Spark training program, next month we will start that. Okay, so you can directly enroll for that as well. Currently, you can manage with the recording or something like that. Okay. All right. In Azure Data Engineering training program, what we will be covering, right? So I'm just talking about this right now. So I'm talking about this right now. I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about this as well, right? So I'm talking about this. What we will learn in this particular training program is, let me share the syllabus now. Okay. So in this particular training program, we will learn about Azure basic, right? So we will start directly on Azure, which is like, hey, how to get a subscription, what is resource group, right? All of that. Then we will learn about data lake. What is data lake, right? What is blob storage, right? Then we will understand about link service integration, runtime, copy data activity, for each loop, copy data SQL server, parameterization, lookup activity, delta load, full load, all of that we will learn, right? So if I try to understand, if I try to brief you from the project perspective, right? So this is the project which we will be doing, right? So in this particular project, if you like, we will understand what is data factory. We will understand like how to move the data from here to here. We'll understand what is blob storage, right? We will also understand how to connect data factory with both of this, right? So we'll understand everything, right? And then we'll understand about Databricks, delta table, lakehouse modeling architecture, how to process data, how to process CSV, JSON, XML file, Scala, and all of this file, right? In Databricks, right? That we will learn. And then we learn about key vault, defense activity, metadata activity, triggers, synapse, right? And then we learn about key vault, fact dimension, star schema, snowflake schema, slowly changing dimension, sending email alert, fabric, one lake, synapse, Synapse warehouse in Fabric, right? And then Fabric data processing, real-time analytics and Fabric, and then Power BI integration with Fabric. So all of that we will learn, okay? And then we will do three projects. One project is this, second project is this, third project is this. So we'll do three projects. We will complete that particular training program, overall syllabus, and after that we will jump into Databricks, right? Here also some sort of a Databricks part is covered, right? This part is covered, right? That like again we will try to revise a bit, and then we will jump into the advanced topic of Databricks and its advanced topic is Spark in another 2 months of a training program. So this will go for 4 months completely. Okay. All right. Now anybody has any question on this Azure Data Engineering training program, guys? You can ask me now if you have any question regarding the syllabus or anything, right? But not it like, hey, what will be our timing and all of that question, like the basic question which you can cover from the introduction class. But if you have any technical question that, hey, Abhishek, is this will be covered? Is the will we cover this on all of that? You can ask me now if you have any question. Anybody has any question on this one, guys? Syllabus wise, anybody has any question? I guess you have an option to unmute. Let me check. Yeah. Anybody has any question, guys?
So Databricks would be a second one, right?
Yeah,
Abhishek, if I'm not
Databricks would be a second one, yes. Yes,
okay.
Databricks would be a second one. In that we will cover Databricks and Spark only in the detailed manner. So we will cover about like few parts are like, suppose this part is like very 10%, 15% syllabus is just like in present in both, but rest is different. So here we'll cover about Databricks, RDD, data frame API, then DB utils, and then how to process the different file, views, manage table, unmanaged table, Git integration, then Unity catalog, Spark UI, Spark optimization topics, and then we will do two projects. One is this one, and another is this one.
Mhm. So first one, you will be teaching like fabric and everything, right? On that one, and that's for the 2 month duration, and the second one
Yeah.
is also two months, right?
Yes. Yes. Both are 2 months.
It's compulsory for the second one.
Sorry.
Is it compulsory for the second one?
No, it's not compulsory for the second one. Both syllabus are mutually exclusive. Both syllabus can be done individually as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. So in the second one, you're like Azure DevOps. Okay, Ed, tell me, can you please send me this if it's possible? Can you please share this both the syllabus?
Yeah. So the team will share with you. You can contact with
Sure.
Karthik and admin department. They will share with you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So all right. Anybody has any doubt on this, guys?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
In my organization, along with the Databricks, they are using Airflow for scheduling and all.
Yeah.
That part will that part covered in
No.
Databricks model?
No, we will not cover Airflow because we are covering Data Factory. Airflow and Data Factory both are same kind of a tool. Both are orchestration tool. Data Factory is orchestration tool offered by Azure, and I feel I think like Airflow is a orchestration tool offered by Oracle. I think so. Let me check. Airbnb, yeah. So it's started by Airbnb, right? So this particular tool is offered by a different company, and it's a it's bit cheaper tools of in few of the company they use this, right? But we are not covering this. We are covering Data Factory, which is also orchestration tool. Orchestration means the people who don't know about orchestration, Data Factory is a tool which helps you to move the data from point A to point B. For example, my data is located in the local server, right? Local server as in very, very simple terms, if my data is present over here in the C drive, right? Like somewhere over here it's present. And if I want to move the data to the cloud, I need a tool for that. And for that, like either you can use Airflow, you can use Data Factory, you can use AWS Glue as well. So in our course curriculum, we are learning Data Factory, which is an orchestration tool, not Airflow. Okay.
Thanks, Abhishek.
Anybody has any doubt on anything, guys?
So
In the course, in the
orchestration
syllabus wise, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
orchestration tool is like a migration tool, right?
Migration tool and scheduling tool. So you can schedule the pipeline, you can move the data. So both of them you can do in the orchestration tool. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
वो बड़ा चेंज होता है ना वो इसको
Okay.
वो शेड्यूल वो टाइमिंग करना है एक्सिक्यूट तो हो
Okay, all right. I'm muting you, Deep. I think I was getting a background noise from yours. You okay? All right. Anybody has any question, guys? Okay. All right. If there is no question, let's proceed. Right. So what we will learn in the today's class is we will first try to understand, like before jumping on data engineering, it's important that we understand what a data engineer does on day-to-day basis. Okay, so we are not directly jumping on the syllabus, right, or technical topics. First, let's understand what Abhishek does on day-to-day basis, what Sankha does on day-to-day basis, what is our bread and butter, right? That we should understand first. Okay, and then we should also understand, right, it's also very, very important that we should understand that what we will not do. Okay, so that you're clear about the role when you're joining the company. Sometimes we are concerned, hey, project is coming, or what ideally I will be doing in this particular project, what will be my day-to-day job, right? All of that, it should be very, very clear. Okay, so sometimes people have a wrong perception that, hey, if I am joining as a data engineer, I need to design this architecture diagram as well, which I was showing, right? So that is not your job. You'll not do that. So this kind of architecture diagram will not created by you, and I neither created this architecture diagram in 9 years of career, right? I never done it. Okay, and at the same time, it's not my job is to how the security and firewall and all of that will be created for this particular project, right? I have never done it. Okay, So you should really understand that, hey, what a data engineer will do and what is your job on day-to-day basis. It should be very, very clear for you, right? And at the same time, it should be also clear for you that, hey, what I will not do, what will be taken care by other team members in my organization, that you should also know. And you should also know that, hey, how my team size would be, and then in I will work with like data scientists, data analysts, what they will be doing, right? So we'll just understand this in today's class. Okay, so in the today's class, the agenda is first to understand what is the role of a data engineer, right? And what are the different roles you work in cloud, right? So just such as data analyst, data scientist, DevOps engineer, Azure admin, data architect, project manager, scrum master, manager, right? So we will understand each and every role. So that is what we will do. Okay, so first we'll understand what is the role of a data engineer, and then we'll understand what are the different roles present in Azure cloud. We'll understand each and every role, right? And then we will have a like a Q&A sessions or something like that, and then you guys can ask doubt as well, right? And then we'll conclude. Okay, so this is what we will learn today. Okay, and then what is the role of a data engineer? SankhaDas will speak about it, and then I will take over and I will explain about different roles beside data engineers. What are the different roles present, right? That I will describe. So I will request SankhaDas to share the screen and then go ahead with the introduction of what is the day-to-day role of a data engineer, and then I will share my screen, and then we'll understand all of this slides which I have prepared for you guys, and then we will go through that. Okay. All right. So, and then if you have any doubt anywhere between the class, you can just like interrupt us and ask doubt. Okay. So you can just ask doubt and then clear all of your questions. Sankha, you can share your screen
Yeah,
and go ahead with the
yes,
session,
yes.
please.
I hope my screen is visible, right? So basically, it's a okay. First, let's understand what is data engineering. Okay, so you see, like, there are multiple sources, like SQL DB, or it can be any flat files. It can be any other account. Let's say it can be AWS account, or it can be anything like on-prem SQL server or SharePoint, anything. So what we do actually, right, as a data engineering. So first of all, if I need to tell you in very brief, like we aggregate the data from multiple sources. Let's say we are running an e-commerce company, or we are running a really retail company, right? So that company can be present. Let's say if I draw about some sources, right? So that company can be present in online one website, okay, online one website. That can be one source. Now the next source, what can be, it's like an offline channels. Next can be like third party app. So there will be multiple third party apps like that. Okay, so there will be multiple sources we have for any company, whatever they are selling the products. So now the thing is that, let's say we are selling now. If I give you a quick example, let's say on today, if I take the date as 15th October 2025, let's say I have a product. That product is nothing but, let's say, product ID mobile. Okay, the mobile, and his product ID is 01. This is my product name. Now this particular mobile, the price is nothing but, let's say, 100 rupees. Now the thing is that what would happen? Let's say in the sources online website, it has sold 5. In offline, it has sold 3. In third party app, it has sold 2. So ultimately, when the business owner, right, when the, let's say any CEO, or let's say any CFO is want to look at a like see like how many products have been sold. So definitely they are not going to check in a transaction level detail, because it's a very low level transaction ID, transaction name, all these things. So what they want a very high level overview. So when we need something a high level overview, what we need to do? We need to somehow aggregate all these things, right? Somehow aggregate all the cells together in some place. Then let's say we can ask the question, okay, how many product has been sold? How many total sold, right? Total sales. Okay. Now in which location, how much product, in which location, or let's say which source, the maximum amount or maximum revenue. So this kind of things you'll get it. Okay, this kind of things basically you'll get it. So these are the 3 things let's cover as of now. So when you need to ask, or let's say the CEO is asking the CFO how many total sold. So before that, you need to aggregate all the sources data, right? to one particular place. Only on that case you can tell, okay, total 10 has been sold, or total sales has been done 10 into 100, that means 1000 rupees, or in which source it has the max, like online own website, like that. So this is the way basically data engineering will help, first of all, to give the business owners a high level overview. They can analyze the data, they can see the last 5 years track, how it's performing right now, what is the change, what is the year-to-year growth, quarter-to-quarter growth, like this kind of things. Along with that, one project I have worked on, I have already told, I think, that there was some e-commerce company, e-commerce toy making company from US. Their sole target was to calculate user frequency and user retention. So how they done? They used to calculate the login time. Okay, they used to calculate the logout time of the users in their profile. Along with that, they used to maintain some bonus score for, let's say, any particular user is storing some data, or making it favorite and add to cart, or let's say like, or let's say add to fav, like that. Or so these kind of things, based on this bonus scores, what they do, they used to run some promotional activities. Okay, promotional activities. So now from that, there was a case study that they was able to generate more than 125% sales before the existing system. Okay, so that's the reason data engineering, first they would give you a high level overview here. That's the first point, high level overview. Okay, and the next point I'll show you that it would be helps to maximize the revenue, or maximize the profit, or you can say revenue for any company, by what, by on which basis, on decision making. That's the thing. Okay, now all the fan systems you are seeing today, like ChatGPT, OpenAI, all these things like AI, Gen AI. So where they get the data? We as a data engineer supply them data. Okay, so the data scientist, or let's say data, like data analyst, or let's say AI people basically get data from ourselves. So our task is to create a end-to-end pipeline, end-to-end pipeline. So how we'll create an end-to-end pipeline, that we'll discuss later. But right now, I want to show you how actually we create multiple source. Let's say the same way, this you can think about, let's say this SQL DB is nothing but our own database or own online product, own online website. Let's say this CSV is coming from the offline channels. This JSON is coming from the third party. So these are the way basically what we do. We ingest the data. Okay, we ingest the data, then we store somewhere as a temporary basis. So this is a temporary location. We'll store it. Means that doesn't mean that we'll not delete it. We can keep it or we can archive it. That's pretty fine. But when we'll do the query, we query from any table mostly. That will be in the cold layer, because there are multiple layers, multiple hops that we'll again discuss later. But as of now, what we'll do, we aggregate the data from multiple sources and we are putting it somewhere. Like let's say, just think about on the morning, you are going to the market to buy all the items like fish, then vegetables, then spices, milk, all those things. Then what you do, you basically copy everything, or you basically take everything from the market, then you are putting it somewhere, right? So just think about, this is your market bag or bazaar bag, if I say something like bazaar bag. Here we put everything together. There is no maintain of the data format, data structures, or structured data. It's a structured data, unstructured data. It's like any file, nothing. It's just like we're dumping it. First of all, we're dumping it from here to here. Now we need to process it. Let's say now we have multiple mobiles, or let's say we have multiple products. So in the silver layer, we can do the cleansling data. We can check the formatting. We can check the null checking. We can do some basic group by transformations. We can do, there are some later comes will come as dimension loading, fact loading. So that will do. Then from the gold layer, basically we get the refined data. Okay. So basically through this multiple hops, ultimately how it's look like. So let's say this was the overall overview. Okay. Just give me a question, or let's say you can ask me the questions, whatever you have discussed, what is the data engineering, how it's look like actually. Till now, is there any doubts, any questions? Then I'll show you that ultimately on a high level, how a transaction file is basically being processed to a gold layer, and from that how the visualization is basically being done, or the ML and other things is basically being done. So till now, whatever I have covered, is there any doubt, any questions, anyone? Anything you want to ask?
Okay, so during a transition, if I go for any project in the company, right, any client, right? So during the transition, so what kind of preparation prerequisites would be there, and what kind of tool we will be using for the migrated data here to their cloud, maybe?
Okay, right. So basically, if as we are learning is Azure, right? So in the Azure, it would be Azure Databricks. You can use Azure Data Factory for orchestrating. We can use Databricks for transformation, and for storing, either we go for Databricks Delta Table or we can go for the Synapse. So there are multiple options. Okay, means if I say in a data engineering, there are basically 4 components. Just to be very clear with the very basics, that the first thing is that there should be some data lake. When there is some data lake, so as per Azure, it's like Azure Data Lake Gen 2. Okay, Gen 2. Then there should be some data warehouse. That data warehouse should be, let's say, you can use Azure Synapse, you can use Databricks Delta Table, like that.
Please describe as well. What does data lake do?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Just let me write
Okay,
it.
yes,
Definitely,
sir.
I'll do. Don't need to worry. Yeah. Then we use something called data ingestion, or let's say data orchestration. That would be Azure Data Factory. Okay. And then for transformation, mostly transformation, if I say transformations, languages, or let's say platforms, what we're going to use? We're going to use, let's say, SQL, we can use Python, we can use PySpark, we can use Azure Data Factory also, and mostly also everything we can do inside Azure Data Bricks. Okay. So now these are the few things basically required for any data engineering platform or any data engineering cloud: data lake, data warehouse, data orchestration, and transformation. These are the few things. That's basically simple. We can say something called known as ETL. Okay, what is ETL? Extract. Then we are going to use transform. Okay. And now the thing is that, as I'm telling, data lake. Data lake is basically nothing but it's a file storage. You can consider something called about your A folder inside your computer. Okay. So where actually we can dump anything. We can dump any image, we can dump any video, we can dump any file, anything. But what is data warehouse? Here, as we can dump everything, but data warehouse only will store structured data. Okay. Structured aggregated data. That means, let's say I have some transaction ID, then date, then let's say transaction product, let's say product ID, then let's say product name, then let's say something called customer ID, then let's say price, then let's say quantity, then let's say something called net amount, okay, like that. So in data warehouse level, how will we be able to see that? Let's say product ID, product name, total sales, date, total quantity, like this. So that means more refined, okay? More refined. So now it would be segregated, like, this would be a product table. This can be a customer table. Like in this way, it would be basically segregated. So that basically the query, when it will query, like when the business will query or the data analyst will query, get the data, right? So you'll be able to at least understand, okay, what's basically happening, and you can able to fetch the data more quickly, because we don't want this kind of data in our refined data. When it cleans the data, will refine the data, will aggregate the data. We don't want this transaction ID, or we don't want the something, any more things will be there. Let's say transaction date, time, transaction card, all these things. So basically, these are the things we'll see in our gold layer. Okay? These are things we will see in our gold layer, like this part. That is the delta table. Okay. So now, yeah, am I able to clear your doubt? Who are asking this? I just
Yes.
cannot see your name. Okay, fine. Anyone else? Any more doubts regarding this overall thing, whatever I've discussed? Anyone? Any more doubts from your side? Anything. It can be anything related to this architecture. It can be anything regarding how to do the things. So if I say, as a day-to-day data engineer, what would be our task? Our task would be to create a data pipeline. So how a data pipeline look like? Ultimately, the data pipeline look like from here to here. Okay. Ultimately, up to this part. Okay. Not this part. This part basically will be done by the, this is done by the data analyst. I have not worked in my last 5 years career, data analyst. Okay. This will be done by data scientist, ML or AI people. And this will be done overall in what you are seeing. This things is basically being done. Data engineer. Okay. This will be our thing. So as to conclude, our task would be to take the data from multiple sources, then putting it somewhere for a temporary basis. Then from there, how we can do some transformation from there, how we can load it ultimately into the format of a tables. So here it would be format of the tables. Here it would be in the format of the files. Here it would be in the format of the files. This is the way. Okay. So now if I say this part is nothing but known as E extract. Okay. If I say this part is known as the E or extract, this part will be known as the overall thing is nothing but transform T. Okay. Now if I mark it, this is nothing but our T. Now if I say this is nothing but our L means load. So basically, if anyone is coming from the ETL background who has worked on on-prem data warehouse level project, or let's say data one engineering project, they can quickly relate that what are the ETL tool actually we do inside Azure with their tools like Azure Data Factory, Azure like Synapse, it can be Azure Data Bricks, anything. Okay. So this is the way the data engineering we will do day-to-day basis. Create the pipeline, sometime to create the pipelines to Azure Data Factory, or sometime to create something called Azure Data Bricks and all these things. Okay. So anyone, any more question, any more doubts? Am I able to clear all of your things, your roles, responsibilities, and how it would look like, and what are the how we aggregate the data, what are the components will be required for the data engineering? Is it clear to everyone? Yes or no? Any questions so far? Let me just check the chat as well. Fine. So yeah. So Abhishek, over to you. You can take over. If the people has not any question, you can ask me also
All right.
later. That's fine. But yeah, you can also over to you.
All right. Let me share my screen now. All right. So as Sankha has explained, what is the role of a data engineer, right? That is being explained now, all right? So I will just try to conclude a bit. As a data engineer, what we will be doing, we will be like migrating the data from any sort of a source. This source can be anything, right? To a destination, which is Azure Cloud. Here we will be moving the data, Azure Cloud.
Guys, please be on mute. Be on mute.
Yeah,
Yes.
I am muting everyone, guys. All right. If you have any question, you can just unmute yourself. Okay, so as a data engineer, what we will be doing, we are like we will migrate the data from point A to point B to Azure Cloud, right? And this particular cloud storage can be your data lake. It can be like, and then from the data lake, you can move to a SQL server as per your requirement, right? So as a data engineer, you will do a migration, data migration. This is a migration, data migration, right? Data migration you will do. And then you will try to do the data processing, right? Data processing means you will try to transform the data processing. That is what you will be doing. Okay, so you will basically do the migration using data factory probably. Data migration using ADF, right? And then you will do data processing, right? Data processing. And then you will do data processing, which is like you can do it by using your SQL database or Databricks that you will do, and then you will do data processing. Okay, so this is a role of a data engineer, right? But now whenever any project it starts, right? So for example, like I will give you an example. Like let's take a step back and let's try to understand. Okay, so let's try to understand with a very simple example that there is a like I'm just trying to give you a brief about one simple use case, and then we'll try to understand the different roles. Okay, so suppose I have a friend whose name is Vinayak. Okay, he opened a retail store in Bangalore, right? That is what he has done. And then he stored his data in different like computers, PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4, PC5. So there are different computers in which he stored the data, right? And like in one PC he stored the data in MS SQL, in another PC he stored the data in the local server, in another PC he stored the data in SharePoint, right? So he has different PC, he stored the data in different like places, right? PC1 MS SQL, PC2 local server, PC3 SharePoint, right? And now what he wants to do, he wants to move the data to a cloud storage, right? So to a cloud storage he wants to move the data. Okay. And then after he moved the data to the cloud storage, he wants to basically like and why he is moving to the cloud storage, reason being that it has its own benefit, right? Because it's easy to share, easy to maintain. Because of all of these benefits, he is moving the data to the cloud storage. Now once he moves the data to the cloud storage, he also wants to do the dashboarding. For example, like to understand what Sankha was explaining, he wants to do the dashboarding ultimately, right? He wants to basically understand the different KPIs. So he wants to do the dashboarding, right? So when he wants to do the dashboarding, right, he need to transform the data as well. So for transformation here, he is using SQL database or a Databricks, right? So for the transformation, so he wants to move the data over here, like, and then do the dashboarding, for example. So this is his use case. For example, he has the data at different location. He wants to move the data to the cloud storage and then do the dashboarding. So what Vinayak will do, Vinayak will reach out to a technical person, right? First of all, he will reach out to a technical person and he will tell the requirement that I have the data at different location and I want to move the data to the cloud storage. And then I want to open a particular dashboard in which I want to understand the different KPIs. Okay, so what Vinayak will do, Vinayak will first of all reach out to a technical team, right? A technical team he will reach out. So and then he will tell the requirement to a technical person. Okay, so suppose the technical person can be like uh, a project manager, right? So suppose I'm going over here right now. So Vinayak will reach out to a technical person and then he will tell the requirement to a project manager, right? So project manager will listen to the requirement. Project manager will speak with Vinayak and understand that, hey Vinayak, how many data sources are there? What kind of a data is stored, right? And then like you want to store the data to a dashboard, how frequently the dashboard should be refreshed, right? So he will take all the requirement, project manager will take all the requirement from Vinayak and understand this, right? And then project manager will reach out to a data architect, right? And then he will tell that, hey, this is what Vinayak wants, right? This is what the different requirement Vinayak has, and Vinayak wants all of this. How to solve this, right? So data architect will try to understand whether this Vinayak is using more of a MS SQL or SharePoint, or like what kind of a cloud he's comfortable with, what kind of a pricing he's comfortable with, right? And which cloud would be better for you, better for Vinayak. All of that data architect will try to understand, okay? And then data architect will create an architecture diagram to solve this problem. To solve this problem, data architect will create a architecture diagram which will look like something like this, right? Which will look something like this, right? So here you can see that he created, for example, he spoke with data architect and then data architect created this particular uh 1 second. So data architect created this architecture diagram. For example, the architecture diagram uh I will go but give me a moment. Or I will show you this architecture diagram itself so that you're not getting confused what Sankha was presenting. Like so that we are on the same architecture diagram, not changing the architecture diagram. Okay, all right. So suppose data architect created this architecture diagram. He created the architecture as in that, hey, there are different sources. I need to move the data to this particular storage, right? And then do the dashboarding. This is the architecture diagram will be created by the data architect. And then what admin will do, right? So now I'm trying to define like different roles, right? So now the architecture diagram will be created as first, like to initiate a project. First we take a requirement and then we create a architecture diagram how that particular problem needs to be solved, okay? So that we can finalize on the solution, okay? And once we finalize on the solution, we will start creating these resources in Azure Cloud. Okay, and for that we need an admin department. Okay, so admin department, Azure admin person will basically interact with architect, right? So suppose architect has created this architecture diagram, then admin department will contact architect. Hey, like what are the resources needed, right? So suppose data factory is needed, data lake is needed, right? All of that discussion will happen, and then they will start creating these resources in Azure Cloud, and they will make sure that this all of these resources are deployed in a particular like VNet in a virtual network where it's secure, right? That they will make sure. Okay, so the admin department will speak with the data architect and then create all the resources, right? So project manager, data architect, and admin. Okay, so this people will work together, and then the resources will be created. Okay, and after that, data engineer will come into the picture and then try to move the data. For example, they will start moving the data to the cloud storage, create different layers, right? And then they will say that data is ready now. Data is ready now. You guys can do descriptive analytics or predictive analytics, whatever you want to do. So for example, they want to do descriptive analytics. For example, Vinayak wants to understand what is the total sales. That will be done by the data analyst because he wants to understand total sales, right? But now suppose Vinayak says that I want to also understand what is the sales forecast in future, right? So future prediction will be done by data scientist, right? So it depends on the use case, what Vinayak wants, and accordingly we will hire a data analyst or data scientist, right? Depending upon the requirement. So he wants to do the predictive analytics. So we will need some Azure ML guy to understand the future, right? Or like if he wants to descriptive analytics, then we need Power BI or Tableau or whatever it is to descriptive for doing the descriptive analytics. Okay. So we'll either data scientist and data analyst. So in all the project which I have done in the past, generally I work with data analyst or data scientist or both to satisfy the requirement, right? That is what I will be doing. And then we need a DevOps engineer. Why we need a DevOps engineer? The DevOps engineer job is to move the data from one environment to another environment and from test environment to prod environment. The people who don't know dev, test, and prod, suppose Vinayak started a project. For example, Vinayak started a project, Vinayak team started the project. So they gave a dummy environment in which we can do some rough work, right? Test work, right? For example, if you're writing your notes, right? Or if you're writing some sort of a speech in school, we used to write some draft notes and then we used to prepare the actual notes and then finalize the notes, right? So similar to that, we will have a draft environment in which we'll test things, then we'll create another environment or a similar environment in which we'll test everything and then we'll deploy, right? So there are three environments which you create. So DevOps engineer's job is to deploy from environment to environment, right? So these are the different roles. Generally in a project, right, we have a project manager uh, or product owner, right, whatever it is, and then data architect, the data Azure architect, DevOps engineer, data analyst, admin, data scientist, data engineer, right? So all of these are different roles, right? So generally we have one architect always, right? Data engineer can be 2, 3, 5, 6, depending upon how much data you're handling. For example, if you're handling um, like 200 table, 500 tables, then the data engineer can be more because you want to process more amount of data, right? It depends on the how much data you're trying to process. Okay. And then similarly also how many dashboard you want depends upon how many data analysts you need, right? But in general, if you ask me, suppose Abhishek, if I'm giving an interview, right? And if somebody asks me the team size, because that kind of a question can come, hey, what is your team size? So you can tell that in my team size, there are 6 to 7 people. One is data analyst, one is the project manager, data architect, data engineer, DevOps engineer, data analyst, admin, and data. And either you can choose data analyst with admin, like either you can say data analyst or you can say data scientist, like, or you can say both as well, right? So if you have both kind of a requirement, you can say both. I suggest you say only one, right? You can just say data analyst. I was doing a dashboarding project, right? That is what you can say. Okay. And then in some team, you have a scrum master as well. If they're following agile methodology, then you have a scrum master who will manage Scrum, like 14 days cycle of development, the Scrum Master will handle, right? So that kind of a the people who don't know about Scrum, just read about Agile methodology, and then you will understand the Scrum, right? What is Scrum? Agile methodology. It is nothing but 14 days of cycle of development. For example, 14 days we will do 14 days, or depending upon the project. Some company has 14 days of development. Some company has 3 weeks of development, 4 weeks of development. So it's a cycle development. For example, in 14 days we will develop something, then we will take a so suppose in this particular project we decided that we will first do the migration of like MS SQL to cloud in 14 days. Okay, and in another 14 days we'll do the movement from here to here. In another 14 days we'll do the movement from here to here. So we will try to fix the agenda of like overall project into different parts, and then we will try to do that particular part, take feedback, improve, do another part, right? So this is how it works. Okay, so suppose for example we have 30 days of training program, right? So I can divide this training program in 5 day cycles. So suppose 5 days I will complete this, then I will take a feedback from you guys how I am teaching, whether something to improve and all of that. Then I will further work on 5 days. So it's breakage, like, and then we are taking a feedback loop in every 5 days, trying to improve, again plan it, right? That is what we do in the agile methodology as well. Okay, all right. Now, what kind of a question can be asked from the today's class? Okay, interview question, right? So in the today's class, what are the interview questions? Somebody can ask you, what is the data engineering, right? What is data engineering? What is data engineering? So data engineering is nothing but extract, transform, and load, data processing, and data migration. Okay. Uh, what are the different roles you're working, right? What is your team size? Okay, so this can be asked. What are the different people working in your team? What is your role? What is your role? All of this can be asked um, in the interview, right? And then I will also tell you one more thing, right? So sometimes there's a confusion about data migration, and then like suppose as a data engineer, you will not, like, sometimes you move some part of data, sometimes you move all the data, right? So suppose if you are just moving the data for the dashboarding for the Vinayak, for example, Vinayak wants to understand total sales. So you will just move total sales data from all these computers so that the total sales can be analyzed, right? This is the data movement for a particular requirement. And sometimes you will do the data migration. For example, Vinayak wants to completely remove this PC, right? Like he feels that MS SQL is downgraded, so he wants to completely move the data. That is a data migration project. Okay, so sometimes you will be working on data migration in which you will be moving all the data, and sometimes you will move some part of data which is not related to data migration. You are just fulfilling a requirement. Okay, so that kind of a two kinds of a things you will be doing as a data engineer. Okay, and then the processing. Okay, all right. Anybody has any question anywhere, guys?
Yeah, hi Abhishek, this is SK. With reference to documentation, like, the data architect, gets the work back from the client. What would be the data artifacts, like, that he will be get handed over, and from there he does his R&D, and then outcomes, like, he provides with his architectural diagram. That's one part. And are there any documents that he will be providing to his team that becomes the the Bible for the team? Any specific architectural documents, or FRQs kind of thing?
So what we do once we finalize the architecture diagram, we
അയാൾ ലിങ്ക്
basically
పంపుతుంటారు టాపిక్
We basically take this business requirement, right? So what is the business requirement? What sort of a dashboarding needs to be made? So that particular business requirement document, what is the requirement, business requirement? That will be uh, made by the project manager and data architect. That will make they will make a business requirement document. What is the functional requirement, right? So they like what kind of a requirement they have, and then what, and then slowly we'll try to make those requirement document to the technical requirement. So they will give all of this requirement to us that hey, this is the dashboarding they want to make. uh, they want to understand total sales, gross sales, and then this particular data is stored in this particular place. We will try to jot down that from our side. So they will tell us the requirement document, architecture document, and then they will try to slowly that those requirement will convert to the technical requirement. And after that we will have some sessions with data architect, hey, what, how to design the pipeline. So the discussion will happen after that, but the initial part is we decide the architecture diagram, we'll finalize the requirement document, and then we will convert those requirement document to the technical requirement document that needs some session. So once project starts, the you will regularly discuss with the client to convert those uh, business requirement to the technical requirement by meetings, different meetings, and then you'll understand where those stored data is stored and all of that you will do after that.
Great, great. Thank you, Abhishek. So, in these interim discussions, hope BA also will be, along, will be, participating in most of the meetings.
Yeah, yes. BA will be also there. Yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, Abhishek, I have a question. Basically, like a data, see, every organization having a huge data, right? So, like it's like a, as you mentioned, like it's a SharePoint data, SQL data, maybe could be like a Oracle data, right? So, if the data would be, like huge data, how, it gonna be like a migrate to the cloud, right? As per the requirement. So, what kind, because it takes time, right?
Yeah, it's take time. So it will take like, suppose sometimes it takes around a month to load the data. It can take like 2 months to load the data. It can also take a year to load the data. It depends on the
Yeah.
data size
Hmm.
which you're handling. But sometimes what happens is, suppose you can say, Abhishek, the data is huge that it can take like 6 months to load the data, right? That can also happen. But
Hmm.
what they do in those cases, suppose the business who is running for like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, all of that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
they generally they don't want to move all the data at once. Rather than that, what they want to do is they want to move the data. Suppose somebody will feel that, hey, I don't want to analyze the data which is 10 year in past. Rather than that, I want to focus like 3 to 4 years of data, because the past sales cannot give you, because the customer pattern also changes, right? For example, I'm talking about retail industry. So the customer pattern, how customer were behaving in 2017 or 18 will not behave today, because the buying pattern got changed. So they try to move 3 years, 4 years of recent data rather than moving like all the 20 years of data, which can take time. So they first try to move 3 years of data, and like that is what they do. So they just use recent year, 3 to 4 years, 5 years of data, and that can be moved in um, not like in a big duration of time, but it can be moved like 3 to 4 months amount of time, or sometimes a month amount of time that can be moved. So this is how we generally plan it. And sometimes people say that, hey, the COVID happened, let's move the data after COVID itself, right? So in my current company, what we are doing, we are just focusing the data after COVID, because the if we just because after COVID the buying pattern got changed, so we are trying to just understand and do the analysis, do prediction, all of that the after COVID. So you just try to understand the window that, hey, which window can fulfill your requirement, and then you move that kind of a data. Okay.
Okay. And the second question, basically, we, as you mentioned, we will be dumping the data, right?
Mm.
On the like for the testing purpose. How we can segregate the data if the requirement is there? Because the thing is, every data is not a structured data, right? All
Mm.
data is not a structured one. If I talk about the SharePoint data, maybe it could be like a Excel, maybe Oracle database, or SQL. So how can we can get segregated like all these things now? If that
Segregate as in like you can suppose if you go to this storage, one second. So this is a data storage. Over here it is a data lake storage. So the segregation you can have do on a container wise. So here you can see different kind of a container you can make, or if you're making a raw container as well, here also you can create different directories and you can segregate your data points like, hey, in this folder I want to store the data of this source on this particular date. So the segregation can happen on the container wise and also on the like directory wise. So here you can segregate all the data while loading.
So you mean to say like once dumps at as per the requirement, right? What could be like, because we have to create as folder as per the requirement until the copy the data
It's
and the
generally on the
directory, right?
source wise, right? So suppose like if you ask me that, hey, for this particular project, how the segregation will happen. So I will try to create one container for MS SQL, one container for SharePoint. I will create different containers, and after that I will create dates, right? On this date, this load is coming. On this date, this load is coming, and accordingly I can segregate the data.
I got it. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And one more thing, for this, like how will prepare the dashboard for the user?
Dashboard will be prepared like suppose once the data is dumped to the
Gold.
like gold layer or in the SQL server, suppose here it's connected to data lake. So suppose
Mhm.
either you will dump the data to the Azure SQL Server or Delta table. So you will connect your Power BI with Azure SQL Server or Delta table to make the dashboard over there. So this is what you will be doing. You will be connecting your like Power BI dashboard to a SQL server, right? And then you will try to uh, create. So you want to understand how the dashboard will look.
Mhm. So we can,
Uh,
you meant to say we can create our own dashboard according to the requirement, right? You meant to say.
yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
And tell me one thing, like from the on-prem SQL, can I access the data from the cloud through SQL?
Your question is on-premise SQL Server can access the data in the cloud.
From the cloud, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not able to understand your question. So suppose there is on-premise SQL Server. This is on-premise SQL Server. How you can understand query data in the cloud from on-premise SQL Server?
See, the thing is like like third party from the third party software, because there's a connectivity is there. If the connectivity is there, can like that can be accessed or not from the SQL server. Like it can be connected or not, like
From
on-prem to cloud. I'm just this is my question actually.
so if you are saying that, hey, I have a like SQL Server, if you install a SQL Server management, like SQL Server itself cannot be connected to the cloud database, right? That you
Mm-hmm.
cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
But if your question is, if I have installed like a normal SQL Server Management Studio, for example, can I connect a cloud database from
Yeah,
SQL Server Management
yeah,
Studio?
yeah.
That you can do.
Okay.
Okay, that you
From
can do.
on-prem, from on-prem, right?
So suppose if you install this SQL Server Management Studio, SQL Server Management Studio, this, are you aware about this?
No,
This.
no, 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 no.
So this is a Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. This is a tool, right, which you can install on-premise in your computer. So if you
Mm.
install this, you can, this is a tool. This is not a
This
SQL
like
Server itself.
so you made this it just act like a client, right?
Yeah, so just yeah, so it's basically um how I explain. So the here this is basically your
This software is kind of mediator, right? So it's connect with the
It's
cloud.
it's suppose you have a SQL database which is installed in your computer. Suppose this is my PC.
Mm-hmm.
This is my own PC. So what you are trying to do, you are trying to install, like suppose you have a SQL server which is installed in your computer, which is this is a SQL server which is installed in your computer.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a SQL, this is a SQL server which is installed in your computer, right? And then you have a SQL server which is present in the cloud as well, for example. So what you can do, you can install SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. This is a tool itself which can be installed here in your PC, and then this can connect to this, and this can also connect to this. So this is a tool.
So
Just like
you mean
if you have your movie, for example, if you have downloaded your movie in the computer, you can use VLC Media Player to also play that movie, and also you can download probably if you are so if you have a tool which can connect to both of the cloud, so you have SSMS tool for that. But can you access a SQL server, like from this SQL server? Can you access this? No.
okay? So you mean to say like we should have like sequencer on prem and as well as like on cloud, right? Then after that,
Yeah.
we have to install this tool, which you talk about the SQL tool, right? It will connect both of them, right? It will sync,
Yeah, it will
right?
connect both of them, but if you want to migrate the data from here to here, you will use Data Factory. It is just for the connection to see the data, but you need to use
Mm-hmm.
Data Factory to migrate the data from one place
Migrate
to
the
another.
data. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Correct, correct, correct,
Okay.
correct. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody has any question, guys? Okay, all right. If there is no question, let's conclude the class, guys. Thank you so much for joining the class. I hope it was useful for everyone. Karthik, if you have some last notes, you can probably continue now.
So, Vijay, the thing is like I don't have any knowledge about the SQL because I can install it, but I didn't operate the SQL basically. So
Yeah.
anyway, so we'll come
So,
definitely. Yeah.
okay, you can contact Karthik. Probably like he can assist you. We have some SQL courses as well, right, which is probably included in this program. So you can speak with the admin team. They will also help you with this. Okay.
So in this
Uh,
in this class, like you will not overview overviews there or not for the SQL.
uh, we have a separate recordings for SQL, in which we are just teaching SQL completely. Okay, we will not teach SQL in the class. We will talk about Azure SQL database while doing the migration, but we'll not teach SQL in the class. Okay, like how to run SQL queries, what are the
Mm-hmm.
SQLs and all that. That we will not teach. That we have a recording which you can speak with Karthik, and he will assist you with this.
Yeah, because without any SQL we cannot do anything, right? I cannot do migration, not because the basics should be there, right? Anyway, I'll
Uh,
definitely speak with Karthik.
like data migration. Suppose if you want to migrate data from point A to point B, that will be
Mhm.
taught in the course, and you
Okay.
can do it without SQL as well. Okay, because you are ideally trying to move the data. For this, you will be using Data Factory tool, which is a no-code tool. Here you don't write SQL or anything. You don't write. So you can do it without understanding SQL. So what you can do is you speak with Karthik, get some understanding about SQL, right, and
Yep.
then you can learn also Data Factory. But when we will learn Data Bricks, right, in that class, it's required that you understand either SQL or Python. Okay, so you can just take your time, 1 month, and you can learn it. While in 1 month, you can just try to focus on Data Factory for now. Okay.
And what about the Python? Are you teaching
Uh,
Python?
uh, like we will not teach SQL or Python in the course, right? So we have the different training program for that, which you can speak with Karthik. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Abhishek. Thanks.
All right. Anybody has any question, guys? Okay. Like so, Karthik, are you there? Let me check 1 second. Give me a
I don't think Karthik is on the call right now.
Hi everyone, this is Karthik again. So hope you had a wonderful session today, and I'm just like gonna show you that. So many people who joined already, you just like want to know like how to access the material and other things, right? Let me share my screen. Yeah. So I'm just like showing you like how to access the material and the recordings as well. Okay. So you can see my screen, right? Can someone confirm me via chat?
Yes, Karthik.
Okay, thanks for the confirmation. So right side top corner, you can see sign up with Google. Click on this. Always use sign in with Google option only. Don't use any email or don't use any password here. Okay. So always you need to use sign in with Google option only. Just click on the sign in with Google option. Okay. It will ask you to like log in with your Gmail ID. Okay. Whatever the Gmail ID you have given at the time of registration, you can use that mail ID and you can join the class. You can just like log into Raj Cloud Technologies. So this is my mail ID for my account. So I'm just like clicking on this and I'm logging into my account now. Okay, so in you can see the students option here. Once you logged in, then only you can see the students option. If you haven't logged in, you cannot see the students option. Okay, you can see here. If you just see, if you just see the website, you cannot see the students option here. Okay, so before logging in, you cannot see the students option. Once you log in, you can see the students option. You can just go to enroll courses. As I am the admin, I have many courses here. Okay. As I am the admin, I have many courses here. So, but if you can just scroll down, you can see here Azure Data Engineering Batch-4, Azure Data Bricks Batch-4. The people whoever paid for both the data engineering and Databricks, they can see both the courses. The people whoever paid for only one course, that is data engineering, you can see only one course here. Just click on this. Just click on this. Okay, you can see start learning. You can see start learning. Just click on start learning. Just click on start learning. So here is the page like where you can see the complete recordings and materials access to you. You can see here session 1 to 10. Just click on this. Okay, there are few videos already uploaded here. Okay, don't confuse. Don't confuse. All these classes videos are the previous classes videos. I mean previous batch videos. Okay, we have done the videos in the like last 2 to 3 batches, right? So these are the videos from previous batch. Today we have done with the first class, right? This first class video will be replaced here. Okay, we'll replace in the slot of S01. Okay, and we will rename it as well. Okay, so whatever the today's session topics is going on, so we will rename also. So right now it will be just renamed as S01 as we haven't uploaded the latest video. If you want to see the latest videos here, you can just like easily recognize if the video is renamed here, it is just replaced with a new video. That's it. Okay. So once you just click on the video, if you just click on the video, you can see the video here. Okay. You can see the video here. This is the 19th August session. You can see here. This is a 19th August session. Okay. This is a previous batch video we have uploaded here for your just reference. So after like today, like you will be getting a message in the group. Okay, you will get a message in the group like once after the replacing with the new video. Okay, then you can access the video here. Then you can access the video here. Below the video itself, you can see session 1 material. Session 1 material. Right now it is not yet uploaded. Once it is uploaded, you can see the session 1 material as well here. Okay, once you click on download button here, you will be redirected to materials page and you can see the material also. This is how you need to access the recording and material. All the classes recordings will be updated in the same way here. You can see there are 45 slots are there for this Azure Data Engineering classes. Okay, so all these 45 classes we will be uploading here once after their completion. Okay, for same for the Azure Databricks as well. Same for Azure Databricks as well. If you haven't enrolled yet, please contact us. Please contact us on this number 810-529-6858. This is our WhatsApp number, WhatsApp and calling number 8105296858. Please contact us on this number so that like we can help you with the complete registration process as well. Okay. So if you still have any questions regarding the material, regarding the like recordings or the schedule will be posted today in the group. Okay. I hope like everyone is added to the group yesterday. So it will be posted the group and sorry, it will be the schedule will be posted in the group. If you have any questions, you can ask us, please. If you have any questions, you can ask us, please. We accept all the payment modes. We accept the like Remitly and the PayPal, like international transfers also. No need to worry about that. Okay. So as today is the first session, we have just given the introduction and we have just given this free session link as well with you. But from the next session, the people who paid only, they will be getting the link via group, via enrolled group.
So which group you're talking about, Raj? Sorry, Karthik, because you paying me 1-to-1, right, for today's class.
Sure. Like you can just give me a call or a message after the session. I'll just
Sure,
like
after
help you the group name and
Sure.
everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure, definitely.
Still any questions from anyone? If not, like we'll end up the session. Okay, it is already like 10 o'clock. We thought to close it at 9:30 itself. Okay, every day the class timings will be 8:30 to 9:30 only. Today it was a bit late and started at 8:43, I think. But from tomorrow, from the next session, we will be going with only 1 hour session, like 8:30 to 9:30. That's it. Okay.
Karthik, just one question, SK here. So
Yes.
I still don't see any enrolled courses or like that dashboard is empty. Just a quick
Don't
heads up.
worry. Just check after 1 hour. It is 10, right? Before 11 a.m. You will get your enrolled course and everything.
Fair enough. I'll monitor that. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Still any questions from anyone, please? So this is the only session where I will be available in the session. Okay. From the next session, only the trainer will start the session. Only the trainer will take care of everything. Okay. So if you have any questions or if you have anything, you can just reach out me here on the support number 8105296858. Okay.
Thank you, Karthik. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining session today. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Take care.